to the first ever Tournament of Unreal Tournament. 6 players will be playing over 15 rounds to fight to become this year's champion.
2, 1.
This is weirdly tense, nothing's happening. Boxes are amazing.
Finally!
Oh yeah, Hitler rocking it.
Bang to the face! Finally!
Oh, damn it!
Combo breaker. Nice. Comebacks on.
Oh yeah, shredded. That's all I care about, damn it. Oh yeah.
Hello and welcome to round 2, match 3 of the Tournament of Unreal Tournament. We are here today in DM Chill to witness Deemotan versus PhaetonXCI in an instagib match. I believe both players have played on DM Chill before, so they should have some familiarity with the map. Deemotan had an instagib match in the first round, so with a bit of hope he'll be ready and prepped for this. PhaetonXCI didn't have so much of a good first round, losing to -1 against Bishmanrock. If he wins this, he'll be able to put himself back on course for a high score. However, if Deemotan wins, he'll be continuing on his trend and gunning for first. Who will come out victor? Let's find out with our commentators down at the match. Tell us how it's looking down there.
Oh yes, that was the time we all got arrested at that party and we spent 6 years in Broadhurst. Good times.
Classic time.
Now here we are, we're on DM Netflix and Chill. Watching Deemotan versus
PhaetonXCI.
XCI, the upgraded model with 4 doors and surround sound built in.
It is the best model available on the market at the moment.
Now, we also have the instagib set so that when you die in style.
This is the second match that Deemotan is having instagib with, so he should be starting to get pretty adept with it by now.
Yes, if he understands the concept of dying instantly, as we all do from time to time.
With a bit of hope for Deemotan, he won't be the one dying instantly though.
Let's wait and see.
So, PhaetonXCI is predicted to be best at this map.
Although I have been told that Deemotan did win his last instagib round by the hair of his chin.
It was a very close match, and it was very evenly matched. It'll be interesting to see if that skill is evenly matched in this one too.
We've spotted the Deemotan straight away there.
15 seconds in and fire has been opened. Took the shot and he's changing his position.
Hit and run tactics, will it work?
Well, the thing with instagib is, hit and run tactics, if you've hit them you don't need to run.
No.
Oof.
Miss and run tactics.
There's a lot of shooting but not so much hitting it. Oh well, there we go.
You say not so much, it's all happening so far.
PhaetonXCI drawing first blood.
It's funny how you never see Rambo drawing first blood, even though he is famous for it. Apparently the elevator takes you up, doesn't bother taking you back down again. It's never going to keep you down.
PhaetonXCI taking up the sniper's tower there and making a good job of it as well.
Yes, Romeo. How far art though, Romeo? Just sniping you, lols. There can only be one!
They seem to be keeping a fair bit of distance from each other.
Which is a good tactic with instagib, obviously less chance of being hit. Although obviously it makes it more difficult to aim with the abysmal shock rifle.
There we go.
Come on.
So looking pretty one-sided as it stands.
A minute and a half in, and Deemotan is failing to get
I
even
can
one shot.
definitely see that this is going to be the match of the game.
We've had a lot of close shaves, but so far nothing. Interesting to see a modern lift system in a castle.
Oh Jesus!
Well, that's 1 kill for Dom.
Yes. Deemotan -1 due to not looking where he's going.
Yeah, it's very easy to fall out of the map.
It is very easy to fall out of the map if you're not looking where you're going.
If you just run backwards everywhere, yeah.
That's where I fell out of the map.
One thing I've noticed is everyone wearing bright blue in contrast to the white. You'd have thought some camouflage would have been useful in this case.
Yeah.
I think you need to do some more strafing.
I am
Perhaps. I don't know.
Oh!
Well done, I saw you then as well.
Back to
Cold and
0.
calculated. Yeah, he's managed to claw his way back up to where he began.
I am statistically nowhere at this point, and I am loving it.
The only way Deemotan's managed to get a kill is by getting the drop on Phaeton. In a direct battle, he's failing to do anything.
Oh, well, he's back on 0 now, so...
5 kills behind. 6.
Could
He
not
got
work out
very
where you were
lost
there.
there.
I had to fire, but I
He was
tried
right
to
in front of him, but he must have just... His eyes must have just changed.
His general problem of not looking where he's going. Oh, that looked to me like a direct hit the first time, but the second time did manage to get it anyway.
Well, I'm up to 1
Phaeton
now,
was
so minus
trying to
1,
get the
so I'm happy
sneaking
with
in
that.
there, but he was being a bit too obvious, sort of.
Congratulations.
Yep.
At least they're being very sportsman about it. Ooh,
Oh, you could have got me there.
Could have. Didn't.
that's the vital problem for Deemotan. There's lots of things he could be doing, but unfortunately he is not.
He could be winning.
Yeah, between choosing winning and losing, and he's unfortunately decided to choose losing.
An interesting tactic. Let's see how it pans out.
Oh, come on.
Oh, this is interesting. This is what happens when they get close up.
It appears they've started on a dance-off.
Similar techniques.
They seem to lose the ability to aim it directly in front of them as soon as they are near each other.
Yes.
Whereas at a distance, they seem to do quite well.
See, when you're that close, it works to have the impact hammer.
But there is no impact hammer. It is instagib. You can kill someone instantly from a range. Why would you need melee?
Deemotan choosing his shots wisely, but not choosing that many shots.
No.
Oh, you jumped into me.
Jake going for a more sort of sporadic appearance.
I had
It
the
seems to
shot
be
on you
working
as
for
well.
him. You didn't have the shot on him because you didn't take it.
You're just that second faster.
Yes, he was.
Whoa, we're taking a lift together. Not the best tactic.
Fell off of that.
Although interestingly, no death as a result. Oh, it's a lift off.
There it is.
Oh! Trying to
There
bridge the
it
gap.
is.
It is
I
there.
swear this is really
He's,
bad.
he's
because
still
there's these
5
circle
behind now.
areas that you think are just archways to climb through, and it just takes you straight off the map.
Yeah, I've
No,
just
no,
seen
no,
one of them
no. Those
there,
archways,
but
if you look in the direction you're going at, they take you further into the map.
Oof.
This is what
That's
happens
close.
when you go in blind.
He's looking around a lot, but I don't think he's really taking in what he's
trying-
actually seeing.
Yeah, I think he's trying to find Edward Stark. Winter is coming.
Ooh!
To be fair, in his defence, that does look like it leads somewhere, but it does go off the map.
Yes.
Some bad map choices there.
You've still got double the score I have, so the day's still young.
5-minute warning.
Ooh, 5 minutes, 4 points to accrue. Will it happen?
Yeah, it's possible. I think Deemotan
possible.
can do it.
It's possible. I've yet to see anyone do it so far in this tournament.
True. If Deemotan pulls the trigger a few more times.
It's pretty much been...
Ooh, maybe not then.
It's pretty much been... The win has been obvious straight from the start, or it's been so close it's been unbelievable. Oh, that could have been a good shot.
Could have, if he'd bided his time.
If he'd bother aiming properly.
That too. The problem is, I think sometimes he thinks he's going to lose the shot and then he panics and gives away his position.
And it just cost him...
One whole life.
Yes, and a further loss there. Now 6 points lie between them. 4 minutes to 5. It's 5-7. I don't know how maths works.
He's completely lost it. I don't think he's going to pull it back. The rate at which he's been killing, he's only got the 5 kills in the 6 minutes that have elapsed.
And he's on 4.
Yeah.
Seven points, 3. That's 1 every 30 seconds. I just don't think it's going to happen at this current record.
No, the
Just
rate Jake's
missed-
getting the kills.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's Jake. Run away! Run away!
I'll be having none of that.
Making my way downtown. Moving slower.
See, the problem is he's keeping his distance from Phaeton, but Phaeton is a pretty crack shot from a distance.
Yes, but the problem is when they get close up, they just end up doing a nice barn dance.
A coin toss is better at knowing you're at a situation with a disadvantage.
I think
backing into
I think
things.
the issue is whereas Dom's trying to sort of precisely aim at the shot, Jake's just sort of firing, and he happens to be getting it quicker.
Can't quite
Yes.
get that shot down when you're moving.
3 minutes
Well,
remaining.
it's just damn impolite for someone you're shooting at to move. Just listing lazily to the left.
And here, movement on the map.
He was
waiting for that.
Was good, yes. Yeah,
That was good. That was good.
9.3 minutes. I just think it's
I think it's over for Deemotan.
yeah, it's, pretty safe to call it now. Right, time for bed. Deemotan seems to be making a beeline for those jump boots. And then,
He does, but
not really taking much advantage of them when he has them.
Damn it!
he keeps wandering
Yeah,
out
it is.
into the open area, but that's where he seems to be at a massive disadvantage.
Oh, it's not so bad use of the jump boots, but see that doesn't really seem to do much there.
It gets him out of the situation, but the problem is he needs to start getting the kills in. Ooh,
Oh, come
Phaeton
on.
being
I
very
shot
stealthy
right over your
there.
head, then.
Still managed to pull it back though.
Can Phaeton get 10 points clear? That is the big question at this point. I just don't think Deemotan's going to be able to pull it back.
Yeah, I'd be happy to go on record and say it's impossible for Deemotan to pull it back now.
To the left, to the left.
I think Phaeton's going on the stealth.
Well, all he has to do really at this point is hide and not have such... Ah, there we go. That is the 10 points clear.
He's just got to keep hold of it for a minute 30.
Which, at the current record, is not going to be much difficult, even on the offensive.
I think the only thing Deemotan can hope for now is bridging the loss
Bridge,
a bit more.
the elevator being his disadvantage there. He had the shot and the elevator just went straight
I know,
back
it's
down.
just.
Got a bit of a snipe match going on here.
Oh, I'm terrible shot today.
Yeah, if you're a terrible shot on instagib, you don't do very well. Let me eat my
One minute
words.
remains.
Jeez. That was fun.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, he needs to look out a bit better when he's coming off that ledge. Ouch!
Another mid-air one.
That was brutal and precise.
You're obviously a big fan of clay pigeon shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, my mortal enemy's clay pigeons. Oh, we've got a reverse snipe. Oh, reverse snipe match. He went in the opposite
Reverse
direction.
Good use of the jump boots
Straight
indoors.
into the ceiling twice.
30 seconds
Phaeton's
left.
just on absolute fire.
I can't see reclaiming the points now. I kill every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You'd have to be on a much smaller map for that to happen.
I didn't even see
That
you
was
there.
very precise.
That was.
Across the map.
It does look like a very cross map indeed.
I think Phaeton's just rubbing it in by this point.
Just like, look at my points.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Here comes 2.
1.
And it's all over. There's nothing left here except a man who looks a bit like a wolf.
Absolutely no surprise to anyone. I think Phaeton had that down 5 minutes in.
I don't even think it took that long.
No, me neither. It was unfortunate for Deemotan, but I think Phaeton just had the skills of the aiming. And he seems to have really good level awareness partway through. He seems to be listening out for the footsteps and using it to his advantage.
Yes. And as tricky a map as it was, he seemed to know the layout quite well, quite quickly.
Yes.
Back to you in the studio! I hope the ants have gone.
So there we go, PhaetonXCI emerging victorious from DM Chill, seemingly completely comfortable with the instagib match. This finally gives him some score to push him up into joint second place. PhaetonXCI needed this in order to get back on track for any hope in trying to gun for first place. For Deemotan, this is a setback. However, he already had the point from the first round, and as long as he keeps on track going forward, he could very well have a chance in the tournament. That's all for round 2. Round 3 will be kicking off shortly, which will increase the divide between points. At the moment, we've got Bishmanrock in first with 2 points. Deemotan, Flying Butter, Malsels and PhaetonXCI all in joint second with 1 point, and Carl on Fire in third with no points. That doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. All it needs is 1 point and everything tips and changes. Join us in round 3 to see who gets the upper hand. See you then.
Merman! My man.